to come and preach for the rallies they have. And we were all waiting to be invited. So one time, all of a sudden, we were invited, my husband and I. So we went, and it was a little late. And when we got there, oh my goodness, the choir was singing. It was the ultimate of music. The pastor's wife was playing a mean set of drums. It was awesome. And so it was just the epitome of fabulous worship music. And so they took my husband to the front of the platform, I'm standing looking for a place to sit at. And so they came back to me and they said, we want you to play the piano. And I said, oh, no, I don't know how to play piano. I only know 3 chords. And they said, no, we want you to come play piano. And it was prehistoric days where they didn't mic the piano, but they had a B3 organ playing and the pastor's wife playing the drums. And I kept on saying, no, I'm honest. I'm not even being humble. I really don't know how to play this piano. Well, I couldn't convince them. So I went, well, okay. So I was walking. I'm going to try to get behind that keyboard. You might better help me because it's been pushed back and we may fall over backwards. I'm known to fall, crash, boom, bang. But anyway, so I'm walking down the middle aisle, they're leading me to the piano, and my husband is going like this. And he's going, I said, and we're having a little quiet argument. Look, I said, I'm going to play piano. And he went, and I said, no, I went, and he had his handkerchief, and he was going, so I'm walking to the piano. Here we go. And I walked to it. Gary's got his handkerchief like this, and so they go like this to me. The music person, well, I didn't know what that meant. So all I knew was C, F, and G. So I just went, oh, well, hit C. I mean, that sounds sophisticated, just what it did. But all I knew at that time was where C was. And so anyway, I said, so I hit C, then F. They got the E, they're doing E. Well, I found out later it was E flat, but, and then whatever they were playing, I was going to C. Chords and all that, but it didn't matter. So anyway, it hit me. Do they hear me? You know, the drums are going, the B3's going. So I went to Gary. He looked at me and he went, I said, can you hear me? And I went, he went, well, something got a hold of me. And I had my hair in banana curls. Those prehistoric people, that was my prehistoric days. They were, and I had one that was flipping, but something got a hold of me, and I started having fun going. I was just going back and forth, like Lanny Wolf or Dottie Rambo or Mickey or whatever, just going back and forth. And then when they came to the end of the song, I just went like that. Well, after it was over with, Gary, he ran over to me and he said, Donna, can you play? He had heard people get instant gifts. And I said, no, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just having fun. person came and said, "Whoa, wow, you did great." And whoa, wow. I found out at that moment, you know, the Lord just makes us better than what we really look like. Really. In saying that, bless my husband's heart, he was a praying man. To put up with all my shenanigans. But when we first are pastored in Tennessee, we had a state official come that it was a church dedication, and my husband said, oh, you know, it's going to be a special day. And I said, Gary, I want to cook for us after Sunday service, the dedication service, everything. And Gary went, oh, honey, no, don't you worry about it. It's going to be a busy day at church and everything. And I kept on pressing it. I don't know if it's because he thought of all those frozen pot pies and mashed instant potatoes I cooked. But I kept on pushing. I said, I want him to come to eat at our house. And finally he said, okay. So the state official was real austere and real dignified. And so finally, that week I learned how to fold napkins. I cleaned in corners where the light of day had never seen. And so here I rushed home. And I had learned that week how to cook a roast of potatoes and carrots in a bag. And also I made yeast rolls, which I had not done before. So Gary comes home with our dignified guest. They walk in, Gary looked around at the house. He looked at my dining room table, and he went behind his back. He went to our guest. He looked at me, he went like, and I went, oh good, you better be glad you married me and not that other girl in Bible college. So anyway, we go to the table. Now, the yeast rolls that I did, they were huge. It took 3 baskets for 2. And Gary went, what are those? I said, oh, that's bread, that's bread. Well, I had a salad on the table. So as they come in, sit down. So I go into the kitchen, and the floor was like a poured floor. So I get a tray with the roast potatoes and carrots and gravy. And I'm walking toward them, the dining room table, talking, and something got a hold of my foot. I don't know what it was, but I tripped. And when I tripped, I threw the roast, the carrots, potatoes, the gravy, everything at our guest. And I slid through the gravy right between his legs. Well, it was terrible, terrible. So my husband got up, grabbed my ankles, and he just pushed me back out of the gravy, and I looked up, and the gentleman said, I like bread and salad. You know, that's all he said. Well, I jumped up and tried to get the carrots off of him and everything. And he was going, no. That's when Gary goes, leave him alone. No. I was so discombobulated. It was awful. Oh my goodness. So we told him we'd buy him a new suit, wash his suit, do something. But a few weeks later, we saw his wife, and we went, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I did that to your husband. She said, no. She said, for 2 weeks now, he's been in real serious meetings. He comes home, he said, honey, I'll be in those meetings, and all of a sudden I see that woman slide into gravy, and I lose it. She said, it's the best thing that ever happened to him. She said, I said, would you call my husband and tell him that? Oh my word. This happened not long ago. I was on a plane trip from Atlanta to Memphis, and there was a bald-headed man in front of me. Have you heard this, Mickey? I don't know if you've heard this one. I've got another one. We may not do it now, but we'll tell. I was going to tell one about you and me, but I'll do that tomorrow. Or I might do it today. We'll see. But anyway, so this bald-headed man in front of me on a plane from Atlanta to Memphis, and so while we're getting starting up down the tarmac, starting to go up, it dawned my skirt was twisted. So I thought, I'm just going to unbuckle the belt. And to grab the seat, just stand up real quick. And you stand up and let it drop and just sit down. Well, when I grabbed the seat, I pulled up, it wasn't locked, and he comes back, and my lips just smack him on his bald head. And he goes, whoa, whoa. Well, I just let go and fell back on the people beside me. I just fell back on my seat, and he popped the seat up, and then I'm trying to get my seatbelt back, and people beside me are they're hollering, laughing, and I'm sitting there, and some bulbs are fuzzy. I was nasty. So that 30-minute flight, I was like, I was rubbing my lips. The lady beside me, she said, oh, I've never seen anything like that, so funny. I said, if you only knew my life. If you only knew my life. So we land in Memphis. When we land in Memphis, the gentleman carried it just a little bit further. He got his suitcase out from over on top of it. He looked back and he went, bye. Oh, bye. Oh, I got off the plane. I called my husband. I said, I just kissed a man on his bald head. He said, I'd believe anything. Another one, Lisa was flying with me somewhere, and somehow or another we got separated with people coming off the ramp into the plane. And I had in my purse, I had some in my arms. And so she said when it happened, when the progress of people going on the plane, it stopped. She said, I guarantee Sister Lyndall's done something. Sure enough. I had my book, I had whatever, I had my iPad, had my purse, I'm walking. And I missed the lip of the plane. And so the people that are sitting right here, there was a short man about this high, and I fall into the plane. I throw my purse, throw my iPad, and he decides to be my rescuer. And then also I saw him as my rescuer. So I grab him. His head's right here. I'm grabbing, and we're falling all over the walls to the bathroom door. We're falling. We're doing a little jig dance all over the place. And finally, we got our footing. He looked up, I looked down. He looked up and he said, thank God we didn't fall. And I said, thank you so much. I guarantee that will be the last time he ever jumps up and rescues anybody, because his life came before him. Can I do one last story? Oh, yes. So it was so bad. Yes, when Lisa said, was that you that stopped the process? Yes, it was. Oh my goodness. I'm going to do the one about Mickey and I. Mickey, Jelaine. This just because we're here together. My second year as a ladies president in Virginia, I was wanting them to come as our guest speakers at our ladies conference. And so we were home missionaries. Our car was a bomb. We had to carry 5 gallons of water back in the truck. And when it stopped at a stoplight, it was a black cloud would come out of it. And the district was so poor I couldn't rent a car. And we were home missionaries, I couldn't rent a car. So anyway, Mickey and I and Jelaine, they're speaking. So I'm taking them out to eat, but Mickey had a good friend that came that had just bought or had a brand new Lincoln red Lincoln Continental. So I said, well, come with us. Mickey said, come out to eat lunch with us. And so Mickey and Jelane's in the car with me. So we're driving through Williamsburg, Virginia. Just drive. We stop at the light. Now keep in mind, this brand new red Lincoln Continental. Wonderful people came to visit Mickey. We're at the light, and when we're at the light, I go through the light turns green, and I said, are they still behind us? Well, Mickey looked behind us, and there's a huge black cloud. And it was like theatrical. All of a sudden, through this black cloud came this red Lincoln. Well, we're screaming and laughing. I mean, we're screaming and laughing. And I'm driving. I'm laughing until I'm sick. So I'm driving to a parking lot. We're still delirious. I did not see that yellow concrete thing that stopped me. So I hit that airport. And then all of a sudden we look back at that red Continental car went airborne too. They did not talk to me at lunch. Well, that's not the only story. So now I've got to take them home to the hotel. They said, Donna, don't worry about it. Sunday morning we'll fly out. You don't have to come and take us to a hotel. Just give us a hotel that a shuttle will take us. Well, I'm new in the territory. I hadn't been there long, so I looked in the yellow pages for a hotel that would take them to the airport. Shuttle. I just called that one and I took it. Well, Monday morning they called me, Jelane or Mickey did, and said, thank you. Our life came before us. I took him to a red light district hotel. They didn't unclothe. They prayed all night, had their Bibles on their chest. Their feet stuck to the carpet. They waited till sunrise. This is like 37 years ago. And so Monday they go, you know, we almost died. Truckers were knocking on the door, whatever they were doing. Donna, don't let nobody stay in that hotel again the next year. Well, you know, that's the joy of friendship. Thank you, Mickey, that you all lived that night. I love you all. Lord bless.